Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Unit 5, Part 2, Publication and Research Ethics. In last class, we had talked about conflict of interest, and we have been talking about different stakeholders. Uh, when, as a researcher, when you send your paper for publication, what kind of conflict of interest you may face. And before you send your paper for publication, um, we need to be sure that we have a right kind of article, right kind of paper, right kind of research, and to make it sure, we have two software. One is Turnitin and another is Urkund. So how many of you have ever used these two software? Let me see. Yeah. So how many of you have ever used these two software? Please put your remarks in your chat box. If you have already used it, write yes in chat box or no in your chat box if you haven't used it earlier. Okay, great. So you people have not actually used it. So practically I will show you how to use it. So one software which is basically a Urkund, Delhi University has subscribed it because UGC has recommended this software for plagiarism check. On the other hand, Turnitin, it's very famous because a lot of students, when they send their paper for publication, the publisher or editor, they use Turnitin. A few of them, they use Urkund also. So when you send your paper, what you need to do, you need to see the guidelines of a journal, because in guidelines they mention very clearly that what should be a part of plagiarism report, what should be taken out from that, what should be included in your paper when you write something and that work is taken from some other source. So before you use Turnitin or Urkund, you need to make sure that what kind of policy have been recommended by that particular publisher or editor. So most of these publishers, what they do, they clearly mention in their policy uh, that okay, before you send your paper for publication, what you need to do, you need to click on these different points, right, before you use Turnitin or Urkund. Now what points I'm talking about, we will discuss it in detail, don't worry about it. So what we are going to discuss today, Urkund software, Turnitin, and if by chance you see some kind of issue with the publisher or editor, then where to approach and where to appeal. So these three are very important things we are going to discuss today. So here you can see Urkund. So we start with Urkund first. Urkund is a completely automated system against plagiarism. So it's a kind of anti-plagiarism system being successfully used at universities and colleges all around the world. Urkund check all documents against three central sources area: the internet, published material such as journals, books, etc., previously submitted student material, case study, anything, whatever has been submitted, right? All will come under the Urkund when you check your paper in this software against plagiarism. Urkund plagiarism detection software has been selected by InfluNet Center, Inter-University Center of UGC, under the aegis of Ministry of HRD to enhance quality and prevent plagiarism in research academic publication. So Delhi University has been using Urkund, and now we had what you call promotion in our API when, because for professor it's minimum 10 paper, and we checked plagiarism of all these 10 paper. So we had a clear cut line that okay, these kind of things you need to include, these kind of things you need to take care of. So Urkund basically it's by the company name is original. And what this Urkund say, we are incredibly proud and honored because now they have become a part of UGC. So they have mentioned in their write-up that we are incredibly proud and honored to announce that been chosen by the Ministry of Human Resource Development together with UGC and InfluNet to provide Indian universities with our test-winning plagiarism prevention software. It has been such a rewarding journey on which we were able to convince the tender of the power of software, our technical features including our advanced machine learning algorithm, and not least our heavy investment into premium paid content from publishers. So UGC has adopted this system and recommended all the universities to use this for a plagiarism check. It's as far as scope of Urkund is concerned, it is a unique initiative of unprecedented scale in the government institution decided for nationwide plagiarism software. We fulfill the toughest technical requirement and were therefore selected as the plagiarism detection system to be provided to all higher education institutions, all universities in India. Why Urkund? Urkund is now available at over 1,000 universities all across India, hosting 35 million students together with UGC and MHRD. We want to encourage all students to take pride in their original work, to create innovative and new ideas in order to strive for new solutions. And why we need to use this software? Basically, the main issue when we use any software is safety. For example, suppose I have written one paper and I want to check the plagiarism of that particular paper. So what I will do, I will put this my paper in this software. Software will read this paper, will check against the existing material. But here the problem is this, that you gave your ID. So how can they misuse this ID, Gmail ID or other ID, or whatever content we have uploaded on this software? What about security and safety of that? Whatever content we have uploaded, can anyone copy it? Can anyone misuse it? So here we are talking about that high standard among the throughout the entire education, being able to check your text for originality and protect it against potential plagiarism, which is a key for a successful academic career. And Urkund is proud to be a part of that journey along the way. So this is a one feature. Once you have uploaded your paper, you should not worry about that safety of your email ID, safety of your content you have uploaded for plagiarism. Nobody is going to check it. I mean, nobody is going to misuse whatever you have uploaded, because that would be the main concern, that anyone can take away your paper content and misuse that. So that is the main issue. But here this software is safe and secure. Now let us come and see the video on this, and then I will show you how you can upload your paper, how to check that what kind of plagiarism has occurred, and how to take care of that we will discuss. So let me run it for you.
Developed by the creators of Turnitin, Authenticate is an award-winning service that helps researchers, authors, publishers, and organizations check their work for potential plagiarism before publication. Authenticate is an easy-to-use web application that can be accessed from any internet-ready computer. Let's log in to see how it works. Here you see the dashboard. Authenticate allows you to organize documents within folders. To upload a file, click on the Upload a File link. Common file types can be uploaded quickly, or you can use the cut and paste option. Authenticate compares submitted manuscripts to a database of 37 billion archived and current web pages, more than 92 million offline works from academic journals, magazines, and research abstracts, 300,000 dissertations, and 37 million scholarly articles, books, and proceedings from tens of thousands of scientific and technical journals. Results typically take seconds to generate. After a comparison is complete, a percent status called the similarity index appears next to the paper's name. This index determines the percentage of similarity between a submission and the information that exists in the Authenticate database. Click on the similarity index to see the reports. There are two ways to view results: text only and document viewer. You may toggle between these views by clicking on the respective buttons. In this video, we will only review document viewer. Papers appear in their original format. Authenticate provides the unique ability to examine side-by-side views of uploaded content and matching sources. In the document viewer, there are 4 report viewing modes. Match Overview shows the top sources that our system deems as the best matches to the document. Sources are shown on the right sidebar. Hovering over one of the sources and clicking on the arrow icon will display additional matching sources to that same text within the Match Breakdown mode. All sources presents detailed information on sources that show a match to your document, color-coded and sorted by top match sources. Side-by-side comparison mode provides the matching source content within the document viewer sidebar. Click on the full source view to enter a side-by-side comparison for the matching source. Users can also print or download their reports in order to share results with third parties. For organizational accounts, Authenticate provides comprehensive reporting results by account, group, and individual users. Users can also track trends by month or specific date range. Annual licenses are available for organizations with ongoing or larger needs, or individual credits can be purchased for checking just one or a few papers. To search for a particular journal that may be indexed in our database, enter a journal name or content title and click Search. Thanks for taking the time to view our demo. To watch more videos, please visit Authenticate.
Okay, so it was a Turnitin video. So before we go for Turnitin, what I will be doing, I will show you how to go for it. Okay, I just download one paper and show it on Urkund. So I have one paper. Okay, this is one paper which is basically a project work. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to upload it on Urkund. So it's open now. Okay, fine. So let me open Urkund for all of you. So what you need to do, I'm typing here on Google Urkund login, right? And here you can see the first secure.urkund.com. You need to click on it and you get this. So this is basically a login platform, and already I have this particular login because it is provided by Delhi University. So let me click on it. Okay, let me make it up. Okay, and go ahead. Here you can see I have so many people I have checked. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to upload another one right now. Here you can see the screen upload document. So when you log in, you will get this kind of screen, and then here you have an option for upload document. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to upload one document. So here you need to show your ID, and then further scroll down, and here you need to drop file. You can see you have written here drop file here, or click. So I'm just clicking here, and my file is in here, download. So you can see it has come here. I'm submitting it. So now I had one file, I am submitting it, uploading it on Urkon software. I hope it's visible to all of you, and let me go up. So here you can see this is a second platform. First was login, right? Second, where you need to upload your file. To upload document, you need to click here. You can see right side here, and then define which email ID is there, which has been provided by the your institution. So our Delhi University has provided us this ID, and it's a personal ID. Right now, what to do? I need to either go to my Gmail account, where Urkund will send that report, or I can click it here, and then you see that project save framework file has appeared here. Now you can see one thing, it has 295 KB, 4051 words, right? So that means it's reading this file. This software is able to read this file. So here we have these many words. Sometimes it says a 0 word, so that means this is not capable to read our file. So here this is showing processing, so they are processing our file. So let us wait for a couple of minutes. Let us see how much plagiarism it's going to show us. You can refresh it with this, and now here we have a setting. You can see this is name, then this information, send report to email. So all information is there, so we don't need to upgrade it or do anything with this. Here you can put some information in your profile, so I'm not going to upload anything in this. Okay, so let us refresh it with this. You can see these two arrows. You click in on it, and oh, it is showing 30% plagiarism. Oh, right. And in Delhi University, we have a threshold limit that is 10% only. So what we need to do, why this 30% plagiarism it is showing? So I'm just going to click it on this orange where it is showing 30%. So I just click on it. Okay, so it's generating report. Now here you can see it is showing the new one. So when this yellow circle is on the right side, it's showing us new report, new version of report. And when you bring it back like this, right, it is showing us the old version. So there is no difference as such, but it's showing us some kind of difference in terms of that it show us in what you call in different format, but otherwise there is no difference. So here you can see this is title of the paper you have submitted, date of the submission, who submitted it, there his name or email ID, and who is the receiver. Because I have submitted it, so I had given my own name. So this is what I am the receiver. And here similarity or plagiarism, it is showing 31%, and total number of pages is 8 pages, you can see here. Now if you want to directly go and open that paper, you can click here and it will again download and it will show you your paper. And here you can see rank, you can see this big, little bit small than this, small than the upper one, smaller than the upper one. So this is showing us the plagiarism. And here from where this information has been copied, the link of that is also showing here, you can see, right? So here it's a name Falguni Nayar, a former director at Kotak Mahindra Capital Company, founded Nykaa in 2012. It was launched as an e-commerce portal containing a range of beauty and wellness product. So what we need to do, generally what I do when I check plagiarism, I start from bottom. So let me come down. Okay, we start from bottom. So let us see this one, open this, and what is this showing? So it is showing to solution places of excess price to value and promotion of education to solution. So it's showing that okay, it has been copied from this resource source hbr.org, and this particular thing has been copied from the here, right? We can check further this. So all this orange one or yellow one, it is showing that it has been copied from some source, and the right side you will see the source of that. So this particular line, find it difficult to move beyond thinking in terms of technological superior product and service and take at a customer centric perspective instead. This has been taken from this hbr.org, thinking the 4 P's. So the whole line has been copied, right? So let us come down. Here you will see this line also and coordinate their approaches to specific customer need. This also has been copied from here. And now see this yellow one, industry Nykaa. This is what this is some kind of reference, but how they have taken this? So they have taken it in terms of reference. So you can take care of this reference and you can take care of this. So now it has come from 31% to 30%. So similarly, so we have resolved this problem. Let us move ahead. Nykaa business is e-commerce website and multi-brand retailer. So this also they have copied from here. So in this, each and every point you have to open and check from where they have copied it. This also, Nykaa also collaborated with Femina to host the Nykaa.com Femina Beauty Award in 2015-2016 to create brand awareness. So same thing has been copied. So that's why you see here it's a 30%. So generally what happens, except this case, because it's a kind of project student has written. So student generally what they do, they copy something and paste in their report, right? So thanks, it's not 100%, it's just a 30%. So what we need to do, we need to go from bottom to up or up to down, step by step, one by one. For example, I start from top. This one would be the top one, I believe. Let me see which one is the top one. Yeah, it was the top one. So what it says, yeah. So here you can see a whole paragraph. The new framework stand for solution access value up to then they. The whole you can see the same they have copied from this digitalevaluationmarketing.com. So this is what copying each and everything. But generally what happens, it's just a project report. But if you go for a research paper, let me find out a particular research paper for you where we have references, citation. In that case, what we need to do, we can exclude all the references one by one. So then you will see, you will notice that the percentage of plagiarism, percentage of similarity is coming down step by step. So this is a report. So in report, I'm not sure, because student they copy and paste, so that's why we cannot deduct it, and we cannot reduce the plagiarism over here. But let me see some paper for you. Okay, just give me 1 minute. Let me see if I can. So now we have uploaded another paper. Let us see what would be the response. So a study of customer expectation and satisfaction. Let us see how much uh, similarity percentage come. With this button you can refresh it, and it's working now. Just it takes few seconds. So here it's processing now. Let us see how much time it's gonna take. Okay, it is giving 100%. Great. So let me click on it, and this is the new version. Let me go to the old one. Here it's old one. Okay, now you can see the old one. Let us see what it says. So a journal of doctor studies accounting. So because already I have checked it, so it is in depository. So I need to take care of this because it got published in this journal, right? The website is here. So what I need to do, I do need to take care of this, and then ultimately it's a 0%. Now already I have done it, because here you can see these were there and I redefined them, because I had mentioned that it's not under plagiarism. So it was, what was not under plagiarism, let me show you the references. Over here you can see the references. So you need to take care of these references and other things, and ultimately, because it already has been done, it was 0%, but it was showing 100% because it was already in depository of this Urkund. So before you submit your paper, you need to define that, okay, if it is in depository, so take care of that also. Plus whatever rules and regulation your publisher has mentioned. For example, they says that phrases, so different phrases you need to take care of, and you need to take care of that phrases. Bibliography, right? Abstract, methods and material. So these are few parts which you need to take care when you put your paper for this similarity report, right? So like this you will get a 0%, but you need to check each and every point, right? If you don't define anything, it's absolutely fine, but you need to know that what should be taken care when you go for similarity report. The reference is bibliography, second the abstract, third method and material, right? And there may be a sometime phrases, okay, and there could be a some words which you feel it should be excluded. So that words you need to take care of, that okay, these are the common words which you need to take care of, right? Now let me come to my presentation back. Okay, so we were here, everybody, and after Urkund, because it's not very hard to understand, it's very simple. And then I have gone to Turnitin, basically a company, and iThenticate is a product. So generally we say that it's a Turnitin. It's not a Turnitin. Turnitin is basically a company. iThenticate is basically a software. So how it's gonna benefit all of us, as far as, because a lot of people they use Turnitin, and when you send your paper they will not use Urkund. Most of them they use Turnitin. So how do they use it? What is the use of this? Let us see this. So when you send your paper, your write-up for getting admission in good college or good school, so they ask you to write a particular write-up on why you would like to come here. One thing, what would be your contribution to this particular institution? Why do you feel that you are the right person, you should be selected as a student to our particular admission or a program? So when you write this kind of write up or this kind of essay, right, they can give you a particular theme or topic also. So when you write a theme paper or this kind of essay, so that write up would be checked with this plagiarism. So it's going to help in admission in particular institution. uh, See, there are a lot of, here you can see the benefits of this software. So when you apply to government for funding, they review your proposal. And how do they review your proposal? Basically what happens, when you come out with some kind of construct that I'm going to understand the relationship, association, or impact of these two different constructs. For example, constructs could be intelligence and performance. So you want to understand that how intelligence affect the performance of an individual. Right? These are two constructs, and you want to understand, is there any relationship or is there any impact of intelligence on a performance? So the institution, those who are going to fund you, they will ask you to submit a proposal that, okay, what do you want to learn, what do you want to do, what research you want to conduct. So you will say, I want to know in Delhi University, the how intelligence leads to good performance, or how intelligence helps students to perform better in their life. So to understand this intelligence relationship with the performance, is there any relationship between the students of Delhi University performance, uh, if you think from intelligence point of view? So in that they will ask you that, okay, fine, that absolutely fine, you want to understand the performance of student because of their intelligence, but on what basis you have described this proposal in terms of relationship, in terms of association of these constructs, or in terms of impact of these two constructs? So you cannot say that I feel so and so, but what you need to do, you need to defend your constructs, relationship, association, or impact of your construct with review of literature. Now, review of literature you cannot copy and paste as such. What you need to do, you need to go through that research papers, review of literature, understand their basic research, and then write uh, your views on that particular research papers or review of literature. So here it will take the grant, the funding company, funding organization will review your work, right? What kind of original idea, what kind of original review of literature you understand, and how do you give your own perspective, what new ways you want to do, what new research you want to conduct, right? So this is very important when you submit your proposal. So this plagiarism software authenticate help you. So there have been, other things also, faculty and research, PhD student, research integrity officer. So integrity, you remember we had discussed that UGC came with an idea that each and every university or each and every college must have integrity committee, right? So whatever you have done, it's your original work, it was your own idea, and it has adopted all such ethical and moral, kind of guidelines or values which would have been required to conduct this kind of research. Consent of the respondent, there is no conflict, right, as such. So these all have been taken care. Another benefit that this authenticate is partnered with cross reference and core you remember, and cross reference, right? And another benefit that they have a good database, 47,000 journals, 82 million articles from best in class publisher and open access repositories. And as far as internet is concerned, Internet Archive, 91 plus billion current and archived web pages. So now you would be very, very sure that whatever you have written, it has not been copied at all. It's your own work, because this Turnitin, they have this kind of enormous big database, right? I can't say that, nobody can say that, okay, if they have copied it, they will not be, caught. So now we have they have good database, 47,000 journal, 82 million articles, plus internet archives. There could be a private depository also, right? So that also comes under this database. So they have a lot of collaboration with the private depository, where people, or the researcher, they submit their articles. Sometime you may have working articles. So, and the biggest concern, as I was talking in Urkon example also, that when you have already uploaded your paper, you have submitted your paper for plagiarism, for similarity report, there may be instances where someone has copied your information, someone has taken your data and misused it. But don't worry about these two software, they take care of all this, and they had a kind of uh, collaboration, or they have kind of they follow legal rules and regulation. Here I have mentioned your personal account kept confidential, like Gmail, etc., because they are partnered with general data protection regulations. The GDPR had legal effect in all European Union member states from May 25th, 2018 onwards. And Family Education Rights and Privacy Act, Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. So they fall under these all different acts. So don't worry about the uh, things would be taken away. Now, when you use this kind of similarity software or plagiarism software, it gives you a kind of confidence that yes, my work is original work, my idea is the original idea, because whatever manuscript you submit, they follow a very rigorous process of screening, and they evaluate it, and the editor, they send it for review. Before sending it a review, they use this similarity report, and then finally they publish it. So it's not a very easy process, very, very difficult process, because they check on each and every point, because they have this much database, they have internet archive. So you cannot run away if you have taken some data from some other source, or you have copied some data. So now you are confident that this software will give you a kind of confidence that now you can send your paper for publication without any problem. Now I can show you when you log in for that, what kind of platform you want to get. So here you have this platform, publish with confidence. This is the website of Turnitin, right? Okay, great. Each year I authenticate checks 10 million document for plagiarism. So what I'm going to do, let me continue what we have been discussing. So this is the platform you get, and then finally when you log in, because I don't have any access to log in, for Orkund I had, so I had shown you the all process step by step. In this also it's similarly like Orkund. You have this particular screen you get when you log in, and on the one side you have a folder. Before you upload your paper, what you can go do, you can give a name to your folder, right? Maybe a department wise, maybe a you are working on a particular theme, so on theme wise, department wise, name wise, you can create a folder. In that folder, when you create, you can give different kind of, you will see different kind of option regarding, let me show you what option I'm talking about. I'm talking about these options. So before you create a folder, what you need to do, you need to refer the policy of your institute or UGC or a publisher. They clearly mention that, okay, when you check similarity for your paper, you need to exclude which one among them, which one you should include. All these points are there. Let me read it for you. First point, which is very very important when you think of plagiarism report, similarity report, enable granular similarity report matching, sorry, right? So what is this granular similarity report matching? You need to enable. If you click it, you will enable it. What would be role of this granular? It will increase the potential for matches in similarity report. So you want to increase the potential for matches in similarity report or decrease the potential for result relevance. So you need to think about it. So most of the time people click on it because they want that, I want to be a more confident that in my report there is less and less or minimum similarity. So it will give boost your confidence. Second, before you create a folder, what you need to do, you click on exclude bibliography. So that option you have right now before you go further. Then I told you, if you feel that you have used 2 or 3 phrases, that also you need to, what happens when you click on this exclude phrases, they give you one option, one space where you can copy and paste your phrases and then submit it. Then it will not read that phrases for similarity. So that option it has given. So if you want to exclude phrases, if you have already used it, so it will give you a space, copy and paste that phrase, 2 or 3 phrases, and then submit it. So it will take care of your phrases. There may be a cases where you see small matches, small words, and these words minimum, what you call, uh, one word, is it one word, I believe. Yeah, it should be of 8 alphabets, I believe, minimum. Yeah. So I'm not sure about it, I just forget. But what do you need to do, if you find small words, like for example ARER is, when that's not qualified for this, but it should have minimum 8 characters. So that would be eligible, that will qualify this small matches. So if you feel that in your work you have used many times this particular small word, so you click on it and mention that with minimum correct. Then next one is abstract, because you feel that abstract you have written it's your own, it should not fall under this similarity checking, so you can exclude it also. And there may be a last one, methods and material, right? So methods and material, generally you write your own methods and material, but there may be some tools, there may be some technique, there may be some formula that could be same, so you can exclude that. And finally, a small sources. In small sources, what you need to do, generally when you see a publisher, they mention in their what you call policy guidelines that how much it should be. It may be in terms of words or maybe in terms of percentage. So that you need to take care that okay, like you have some sources, you want to exclude them, up to what extent you want to exclude them. So that policy you need to read, which is of given by your publisher. So this is the second. When you upload, here you can see few on the left side, few folder, and here you can see a report they have generated. And one more thing before you exclude all these granules or bibliography, phrases, abstract, etc., you need to go for this also. You want to limit your search to this repository for checking plagiarism. So cross-ref, right? Cross posted content, internet publication, your index document. What's the difference between first and second? Second one is which is actually not published. For example, working paper. So if you see a working paper which is under process, so that you need to check, because sometime working paper also, like IAMS, they show in their repository that these are the working paper. So all kind of working paper will fall under into second, this cross ref posts content. So you need to exclude all those which you don't want to count, which you don't want to say, tell that okay, these you consider, right? Okay. And then finally, when you upload and click a button that okay, now check plagiarism, you get this kind of report. Here you see date when you have submitted it, the total words you will see here, sources it will show you here on the top, paper name, introduction, your name by who has submitted it, and here it will show you the total similarity 27%. 27%. And one more thing, here it is showing bibliography included. What you need to do, bibliography exclude, quotes include. What you need to do, quotes exclude. That you can do, right? So here it's a 27%. Now you see for each and every here it's showing internet, cross reference, all these from where they have copied it, it is showing here the same color. So you can click on this here and it will show you from where, or the detail of from where you have copied it. So one by one you can click it and then you can rectify all the similarity. So this is very simple method, don't worry about it, you will be able to learn. But generally what happens, these kind of software you cannot buy as an individual. Generally institutions, they subscribe or buy these kind of software and give some kind of ID and password to the librarians of the university or the department, or to one individual teacher who would be a part of IQAC, right? Or someone in your organization. They cannot give it to all because of security of the information which has been there. So to take care of security and safety, what they do, they give it to librarian or someone else in the in the institution. I haven't seen anyone that who is having personal account on these two software, right? So let me go ahead. Okay, so you're talking about Orkut. So come back again, Orkut. It's similar kind of things they have, and this already we have discussed. Okay, so before we go for further, let me just take 5 more minutes, because whenever you feel that you see some issue with the publisher, editor, where to go for complaint and appeal. So core, you remember, you go to a core website or publicationethic.org. There you will see this information, a flowchart of uh, approaches for publication ethics. And there they have given some information that what kind of issues, what kind of complaint, what kind of problem they receive. So they have bifurcated problem related with science, related with humanity and social science, related with arts, right? So they have given a flow chart, uh, and if you follow that flow chart, you will reach to the point that okay, I belong to humanity and social science. In case of any issue with the publisher or editor or someone else, what I should do, so they will guide you. So generally, when you think of issue related with humanity and social science, these are few I have noticed here. Conflict with co-author, this is very common, right? Second, fabrication of data, difficulty in uploading anonymity of authors and reviewers during peer review, detecting plagiarism, and poor attribution standard. So these are very common issues, issuing handling response from reviewer to author. So these are common issue in social science and humanity. Now, if you want to study more about this complaint, if you have more, if you want to understand more about this appeal, we have COPE. And if you go to COPE website, here you can see they have given you all possible information about complaint and appeals. So as a reader, as a student, as a scholar, as a editor, whosoever you are, they have space for all, and they have given all possible information in case of any appeal, in case of any issue, right? So let us come back, and now it's a time for question and answer. Thank you very much for joining today. And in the next class, because we will have two more classes in future, so now it's a time for question and answer. Thank you very much for joining today.